Time to say goodbye to Photon Hypernova. If you want 5% off any single or sealed product, head over to tier0games.com and use code GALZO5 at checkout. How's it going, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we have my final regional deck profile with Branded in the Photon Hypernova season. Before we begin, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, there are only a few copies left of my new Final Battle playmat that is out now for pre-order. 100 limited edition copies of this beautiful playmat. Get it in the link in the description below at my shop. This was my last regional for the season in the Photon Hypernova format. I was very happy with the build. I unfortunately lost the top cut to just my own mistakes. So this is an opportunity for you to learn from those mistakes. And I think the deck was absolutely fine for the format. I do want to go over the matches. I came in at 11th place in Swiss, so I missed top cut again, kind of on the bubble. My record was able to top, but unfortunately, again, tiebreakers and stuff. Similar to the last regional, this is why it kind of sucks. So yeah, let's jump into the deck profile and then we can talk about the matches and how the cards were. Again, this is the end of the format, so this is going to be the last profile that we're going to have for Photon Hypernova season. This has been my favorite time to play ever in Yu-Gi-Oh! The deck was so competitive, so shiny, getting a lot of support, being able to like go to locals and regionals and do really well with the deck. This is what it's all about. So this is the deck profile, 40 cards in the main. We have 3 Aluber. I did play 3 Fallen Valbaz. I think it's kind of a mandatory at this point because of Kashtira. While Kashtira is a thing, you don't want to lose your Albaz. Like if you don't have Albaz in your deck and you don't have a way to bring it back, it's very hard to play. 1 Tragedy, 1 Mercurier, 1 Adlib, 1 Cartesia, 1 Dark Magician. I did play Dragoon, and it does come in clutch in a lot of matches against trap decks mostly. It did perform really well having the Dragoon in the deck. Then I had the 1 Albion and the 1 Kit. I think this lineup was absolutely fine. Sometimes you play a little bit more Tribe Game Mercurier, but I did not play Allure of Darkness in this build. So this has been really like absolutely fine. Cartesia maybe should be a 2, but again, it worked really well. I only bricked, I think once, was like a really hard brick, but I won that game because my opponent bricked as well. I think this has been fine, and I think, again, Dragoon is just like such a good card that it's hard to pass up. Then I played a big package of Bestials, 1 of each. The reason I played so many of these was for the fact that I was expecting a lot of Branded and a lot of Math Mech coming into this tournament. Also, some players even playing tier elements in this format. So I did want to be able to respond to things like Ibli, things like Math Mech, things like Branded, and honestly, none of these came up. Like, I think they only came in for like pushing for damage. I never opened them. I think once I managed to get a Drusworm on the field to tribute it to get rid of a Theory and Regulus my opponent had. But basically that's it. That's the only time it came up. Again, I mostly saw trap decks, and I'll talk about it at the end, but this was like fine. I did not see it a lot. Then I did play 3 Ash Blossom. Again, I played the crossout package in the side, so I did 1 Ash in the main, and it was really good. Like hitting Prosperity for trap decks, hitting Trap Chicks, Sarah to summon. Like Prosperity hitting Kashtira is really huge when they go first. Like they're left with 4 cards in hand, and they better be worth it. Again, trap decks like Labyrinth hitting the Welcome won me the game. Like the Ash won me the match against Labyrinth because we both bricked, and he relied on summoning through the Welcome, and I just ashed it and attacked for a game with the Luber and Albaz. Then I played, of course, 3 of the Future Ulti, 3 of Opening, and 3 Deployment. I also played 3 Super Poly. It's really hard for me to cut it. It's such a good card, cannot be negated, hits almost every deck. Almost every deck, like all decks. I played 2 Labyrinth, and it was really good against both of them. Trap Tricks, again, hits them as well. Kashtira is actually like the hardest, but when they go for my final game against Kashtira, I hit them with the Super Poly in the draw phase. So, you know, it was actually really good. I really like Super Poly in this build, and yeah. So yeah, this is my 3 of spell line, 3 Super Poly. I really want to take this to Cyberstorm Max as well. Then I played One Duster in the main, which was such a good card. It's such a good card to put in the main if you have room for it. Sorry, I said 40 at the beginning, but it's actually 42. So make sure you know it's 42 so you don't correct me in the comments. One Duster in the main, absolutely amazing. Look at this beautiful print, but honestly, like, it's like topic, you know, digging into your deck with Chimera to get this. I drew this both, I 2-0'd my matches versus Labyrinth, and I just drew this. If you draw this, you kind of win automatically. So it was very, very good, performed really well. Then I played the 1 Lost, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Goldsark, 1 Branded in red, 1 Called By, and 1 Retribution. I think these are pretty self-explanatory. I think Goldsark and Foolish are really good in this build. Unfortunately, again, like this is the normal lineup. I really, really encourage you to try the Harpy's Feather Duster in the main. Then let's get to the extra deck with these nice looking sleeves. And by the way, speaking of sleeves, I've just been joined to the Sleeve Chief family. You can now use code GALZO5 to get 5% off of your sleeves, merch, whatever you want from sleevechief.de. Really helps support the channel. And again, they have awesome looking products, and keep an eye out because at the end of this week, they're releasing a brand new branded accessory package. So keep an eye out for that. Use code GALZO5. Affiliate link is in the description below. And for the extra deck, I played 2 Mirror Jade, 2 Albion, and 1 Lubellion. I kind of want to up the Lubellion to 2. Like sometimes against Kashira, it's really hard to grind with like 1 Lubellion, but you know, you got to learn to know when to scoop as well. This has been fine. 1 Sprint, which kind of came in clutch a lot of times. This card can pop things on the field if you don't know, and it's really good against, of course, Contact C that nobody really plays because they know it. But I did want to have it in the deck because it pops back row. Like, you can move it around and pop back row, and the main thing that I wanted to pop was Castor Birth because that card is extremely annoying to play against. So Sprint was actually good. Ringebrum, I'm gonna be straight up with you guys. I might not even see a reason to play this card going forward. This card has no use in most matchups, and it actually cost me the game against Kashira because I went for the Rinbrum line when I shouldn't have. It's not that the Rinbrum cost me, I costed it, but I never ever see myself summoning it. So I think that Rinbrum underperforming this format, to be honest. Like the early lines that we used to go in with, you know, a lot of Bestials now don't exist. Like at the beginning of the format, you can send like Mercurier, Albaz, summon this, then Bestial, the Mercurier, get Cartesia, special summon the Cartesia, fuse, blah blah blah. You only play 2, you know, you only play 2 Bestials. One of them can only be summoned that way. Might be cuttable. 1 Granguignol, 1 Dragoon. These 2, like honestly, these 2 cards are just the best in the deck. Like Granguignol is insane. And Dragoon is just like won me game, so many games single-handedly. Actually not the one against Kashira, funny enough, but against the trap decks, just like auto win. Both of them also activated Solemn Judgment. So, you know, they activate Solemn Judgment or something. You get the Dragoon, you pop a monster. And Granguignol is amazing because it can summon Queritus, which also I'm not taking out of my deck ever. Like this card also won me a lot of games on its own. Non-fusion decks, you zero out their field and just go for big game. Like in combination with Dragoon, these 2 just do so much damage. So these 3 really outperform. Like I didn't summon Mirror Jade that much. Of course you go into Mirror Jade sometimes, but these 3 were just like the best. Chimera, Masquerade, Dragostipelia, and then the Super Poly targets. Super good, like Super Poly against Labyrinth. Get Garura, zero out, not zero out their attack, but like get Garura attack for a lot of damage if you can clear their board. Just, you know, draw a card when they pop it because they're gonna pop it, or return it to the extra deck. Fine, that's fine for me. I can Super Poly you again. So this has been the extra deck. And then for the side deck, I did change things up from the last regional, and I was really happy with my changes. I played 3 Nibiru. Never saw it. Sided it in against Kashira, against Sword Soul. Never actually saw it. And yeah, but I think it's still very good. Like this format, if you have like a regional coming up like the last one, I really like Nibiru because Kashira actually go a little bit more greedy. Like I assumed that the Kashira players that I'm gonna encounter will be playing greedy, and that's exactly what happens. Unfortunately, I didn't see the Nib, but it definitely was the right call. I played 3 crossout for the Ashe. I did not use it on Ashe because I didn't need to, but I like going first. This Gimmick Puppet package, that's it. 3 Cosmic, huge card. This is the one I've been missing the last regional. I was too cocky to put in 3 Cosmics. Big mistake, honestly. So 3 Cosmic was really nice. With Harpies in the main, you don't lose to things like Super Ancient Organism. Like going first, I would put in these 2, the Gimmick Puppet Nightmare, Branded Expulsion, these and these. So like, you know, they can Gimmick Puppet you can Gimmick Puppet them, then they set up Super Ancient Organism and pass, and you're like under Mystic Mind. So to make sure you have all of these, and then 3 evenly matched and 1 branded Banishment. So the reason I played Banishment this time was to put a little bit of extra pressure, deal with those branded mirror matches like this up against a Dragoon your opponent has is really, really huge. And actually, I sided this in against Labyrinth because, you know, again, you can fuse their field away, and I wanted to have that extra pressure to make sure that I can pull through. I sided in against Labyrinth once and did not use it, unfortunately, but I felt good having it. Like I had 1 spot in the side deck. I was like, yeah, let's go with Management. I'm looking to see a lot branded anyway, so it makes sense. So the matches, again, I lost to Sword Soul at the beginning. It was really unfortunate. I kind of let my guard down, I think, but overall, he had game. It was fine. Like, I don't think I misplayed hard. He just top decked Taya when he needed specifically only Taya. And yeah, Chen Ying, he was really big and attacked my Dragoon in my field. Just OTK'd me. Game 2, I played against Sprite. 2-0'd. I played really, really well that time. So 2-0 against Sprite. Then I played Trap Tricks Therion, which again, Dragoon and Queritus came in really, really clutch. So yeah, it was 2-0 as well against that. Then Labyrinth, another 2-0. Super Poly coming in clutch. Evenly Matched coming in really clutch. And of course, the main deck Duster, I drew that against him twice. And then another Labyrinth matchup, which I won 2-1. And it was a really good player. He played Temple of the Kings, which was really annoying. I had to get rid of it off the field. So I took game 1, he took game 2. And basically game 3, I was going for a Puppet Log, but I drew every single brick in my deck. Like my hand was Albaz in red, Adlib, Ashe, and Gimmick Puppet. Thank God I had the Ashe because that won me the game. So it was like a Luber Albaz beatdown at that point. And he just didn't draw engine, and I had the Ashe for the only engine piece he had, so I won. And then Kashira, that was like the finals basically for who makes top cut, either me or him, depending on who won. He won game 2, actually broke my board. He won game 1, game 2, Gimmick Puppet Log, game 3. I ashed his Prosperity, then he ended up on Birth and Arise hard on the field. That's it. I had the line to go for Brand Fusion, and unfortunately I decided to go into Rinbrum and bounced his Arise Heart, but could not deal with the Birth, and that was a huge mistake. I think that if I go for Dragoon at that point, I probably win. Like by damage and in time, I 90% win, depending on what he has in his deck. But I think that was a huge misplay on my part, and it costed me a lot. But again, last regional, almost like, bubbled again, 11th place. So I'm happy with the deck. I am, like, if there was another regional, I would not change anything about the deck. Probably. And yeah, maybe take out the Rinbrum because it was annoying. So I hope you enjoyed this final Photon Hypernova deck profile from my branded Despia list. And of course, leave a thumbs up and a comment below on what do you think about the list. How is your last regional season going up until the next format? Of course, subscribe if you are new. And again, use code GALZO5 at sleevechief.de to support me a little bit further and get, get some nice sleeves with that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.